Hello, it's Sonia here with The Pretty Stitch. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, I'm so happy to have you here. So today is Wednesday, and that means it's the stitch of the week. So for today's stitch, I'm using an H hook or a 5mm hook, and I'm going to be using some pretty fine weight yarn here. So I would consider this closer to a fingering weight yarn. You could also use this stitch with a variety of hook sizes and a variety of yarn types. So if you don't like working with finer weight yarn, you can certainly use a heavier weight yarn. Just adjust your hook size accordingly. So to work this stitch, you are going to need to chain a multiple of 6 plus 5. So let's chain 17. Okay, so here is my 17 chains that I have. So my first row is going to be my setup row. We're just going to single crochet across. So I'm going to work in the second chain from my hook and just work a regular single crochet. And all of your odd rows, so this is an odd row, it's row 1, is going to be the right side, and all of your even rows are going to be the wrong side. Sometimes it doesn't matter what's the right or wrong side, but in this stitch, it kind of does. So I wouldn't exactly say this stitch is reversible. I don't think it looks terrible on the wrong side, but it's definitely has more of a right side. Some stitches are reversible, but I wouldn't say this one is. And you can work in your chain however you would like. Alright, so there is my row 1 here. So I should have a total of 16 single crochet. So now we're going to work row 2, which is the wrong side. So I'm going to chain 3 and turn my work. And my chain 3 will count as a stitch. It's going to be a double crochet. And we are just going to double crochet all the way across. So this counts as a stitch. We're going to work in the next one here. So at the end of my row here, I will have a total of 16 stitches. So there is row 2. So far just very basic stitches. So row 3 is when we get to the more interesting stuff here. So we're going to chain 3 and turn our work. And this is going to be our right side. So there we go, and this counts as a stitch. And our next stitch is going to be a double crochet. So you're going to have 2 double crochet stitches on each end. They're just going to be your border stitches. I like symmetry, so that's why we're doing it like that. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we are going to be working some triple crochet. So you're going to yarn over twice. You're going to skip 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and we're going to triple crochet in the next stitch. And we're going to triple crochet in the next 2 stitches. Okay, so now we're going to work in the stitches that we skipped. And we are going to be working front post triple crochet around these 3 stitches. So these 3 you just work regular triple crochet, and these guys are going to work front post triple crochet. So I've yarned over twice, and I'm going to work in this first stitch here. So it is a little bit of a reach, but you know, it should be okay. So there's our first one. So these are some post stitches here that we got going on. And we have one more. So it might look a little messy when you first start out, and that's very, very common when you're working post stitches. They can, especially in crochet, they can just look a little wonky and not that nice. But as you get going, they start to straighten themselves out. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to skip the next 3. So it's kind of like we have a big jump here, but these stitches have already been worked. So if you can just kind of, give it a little pull, you'll know, okay, I don't need to work in that one. So we're skipping 1, 2, 3, and we're going to triple crochet in the next 3. And now we need to go work front post triple crochet around the ones we just skipped, just like we did previously in the row. So here we go. So just reach over and work your stitches. And one more to go. Okay, so now we just need to work our final 2 stitches, which are double crochet, our border stitches. So there's the one. And now we have our last one. So you're going to work on top of that chain 3, just working your double crochet. And row 3 will be complete. So as you can see, it doesn't look that cute yet, but just hang in there. All right, so let's work row 4, and row 4 is an even row, and that means it's a wrong side row. So you're going to chain 3, turn your work, and we're going to double crochet in the next stitch for our border stitches. All right, so we've worked our 2 border stitches. So now we are going to be working back post double crochet around the next 3 stitches. So we're going to yarn over once, and if you've never done that before, I can make a link of that. I don't like back post double crochet that much, but sometimes you need to do it, and we're only working 3 out of this grouping. So there's the one. There's the second one, and there's the third one. Oops. Yep, here we go. All right, so we've got our back post double crochet. So now we're going to work regular double crochet in the next 3 stitches. And we'll get ready to work back post double crochet again. So for the repeat, it's going to be 3 back post double crochet, 3 double crochet, 3 back post double crochet, 3 double crochet, all the way to the end until you get to the last 2 stitches and you just work your regular double crochet stitches. So I have a very short swatch, but you might have a longer one. So that is the repeat there. And now we're going to work our 3 double crochet. And then we're at our final 2 double crochet here. And then working on top of that, chain 3. So now we're going to get ready for row 5. You're going to chain 1, turn your work. This is a right side row, so there we go. So row 5 is very simple. We're just working single crochet. So you chained 1, turned our work, single crochet right in that same stitch, and you're just going to single crochet all the way across. Okay, so there is our row 5 there. So now we are going to work row 6, and that's going to be a double crochet row. So you're basically repeating rows 1 through 4. So chain 3, turn your work, and double crochet across. Sorry, my battery is dying, so I just finished my double crochet across for row 6, and we're going to chain 3 and turn our work. Again, this is a right side row, so you can see it's starting to straighten itself out a little bit there. So we're going to double crochet in the next stitch for our border stitches, and we're going to skip the next 3 stitches and work front post triple crochet, so 1, 2, 3 in the next 3. So I think this stitch would work really well using a yarn that blocks really well. So something with more natural fibers. This is acrylic, so it kind of isn't showing the stitch off really well. So if you have a yarn that you can block and kind of stretch it out a little bit, I think it would showcase it a lot better. Alright, so now we are going to work front post triple crochet around the next 3 stitches we skipped. So just reaching over, or something with wool in it, alpaca, something like that, I think would be a really great yarn choice. But I mean, you can certainly use acrylic, it's up to you. Alright, so now we're going to skip the next 3 stitches and work front post triple crochet around those guys there. Or I'm not front post, sorry, regular crochet. Just working in the stitch regularly, working front post or triple crochet. Oh my word. 1, 2, 3. And now working the front post triple crochet around the 3 that we skipped. And then you'll work your final 2 double crochet to complete row 7 here. And then we'll chain 3 and turn for row 8. Okay, so we have our chain 3 and we turned our work. So we're going to work a double crochet in the next stitch and front post double crochet around the next 3 stitches, or I mean not front post, back post double crochet. Oops, getting caught. See, I just love back post so much. I just find it to be awkward. It's not particularly difficult, it's just a stitch that I feel like you can't zip through it too quickly compared to front post. And some people might love back post stitches. It just depends on what you're into. And then you're going to work double crochet around in the next 3 stitches. And our back post stitches again, so 3 back post double crochet, and you can see like I'm kind of moving it, and like you can do that with post stitches. They are a very sturdy stitch, so you don't have to worry about, you know, like really messing up your work. So if you just kind of want to yank it a little bit to be able to work the stitch, it's going to be perfectly fine. And then I'll work my 3 double crochet in the next 3 stitches, and then I'll work my last 2 double crochet. Oops, I think I worked in the wrong. Yep. See, I worked in the one I just worked the post stitches, and you don't want to do that. You're adding a stitch or working in the wrong spot. So there's the 3, and then the final 2 double crochet. And then we chain 1 and turn our work. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is repeat rows 5 through 8 for however long you would want your swatch. So there it is. So I will work this, I think, in a different yarn because I'm not loving it in this yarn. So I'm going to see how it looks using a thicker weight yarn. I think it will look a little bit better. So I will get back to you with that. Okay, so I worked up a different swatch using worsted weight yarn, so I do like it a lot better than using this yarn. I mean, they're both nice. I mean, they both have their place. It just depends on what your preference is, but I think I do prefer using the heavier weight yarn for this project. So I hope you enjoyed this Stitch of the Week, and I thank you so much for watching.